We just took
That
part
we
in.
just-
Yeah, yeah.
Don't forget I didn't.
I love the respect I get.
Well,
Just one-
something good's happening. Somebody's fishing there.
Yeah, we're live.
Got it.
All right.
Good.
All right.
Thank you, Glenda.
She was feeling that.
Yes, that's what
needed
it
that.
is.
So she could respond.
I got you.
Okay, so some members of the staff are just more valuable than we realize. Yeah, that's a call in there. All right. Well, we're still missing a couple members, but we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Just a tad, just a smidge, just a little late. So, Linda, you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if you will, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We've had a little bit of excitement already, getting we've got a full house. And so we're still, I still have word, and we're going to get a couple of council members attending tonight. So I'm going to take some liberties with the agenda and shuffle it around. And this is almost not heard of, but in order to have the approval of minutes, if we do have council people show up, I'll say that we should go ahead and Mr. Jackson, we got you on the agenda for giving us an update on the Superfund status. Let's go ahead and do that informational part. And hopefully our two council members have a chance to come. Everybody in agreement with that and get some nods ahead? Okay, we'll do that.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right.
Like you said, my name's Brad Jackson. For those of you that haven't met me, been working on the project since, I hate to admit it, but around 2006, and have been able to come up and give you all periodic updates on the project progress of the site. But I think it's been before COVID, so that would be maybe 2018 was the last time we were up to kind of update everyone. So just want to kind of give you an overview. We prepared some fact sheets. We'll drop those off tomorrow. Had some technical error or logistical issues on our end. And so we'll drop those off. We can email those. I don't know if that would be helpful to.
That'd be great.
Fact sheets. And then it's basically just a couple of pages. What we did last time was to kind of give a map of the site area and just kind of give an update on just the status. And just kind of a brief overview. We're talking about the Westlake chemical plant mainly. The site that we manage is the Goodrich Superfund site. It's about 250 acres. It covers much of the Westlake plant. Over into Carbide Industries, and actually there's some contamination. It migrated beneath the river as well. So all that's being addressed, we've got it divided up into about 8 different elements or sections, if you will. We've completed construction on one of them. Basically, we had a ditch that had some contamination exposed, a couple of 1,000 feet long, that's been lined. We're in the process of building some wall around the barge slip area to basically prevent contamination from getting into the river from the barge slip. And then the rest of the remedies to install another 2,500 feet, not 2,500 feet, about 2.5 miles more actually of wall around the perimeter of the facility and basically just contain all the contamination there underneath the facility. Hopefully in the spring, we'll start construction on another segment of wall. Kind of got it divided up into 4 different segments. And we're targeting having construction completed. Probably it'll be into 24, maybe 25 timeframe. And then still have work to do, but they'll be starting monitoring and things like that. But as any big construction project, have had some hiccups along the way, but we've been able to work through those and get those worked out. So that's kind of it from a big picture standpoint. The other reason I want to come up and brief you all is that I'm actually retiring in December. And so I had brought our new project manager that's going to be taking over for me. And if it's okay with the mayor and council, I'd like to introduce him and then introduce the other folks that are with me that are part of our team, if that's okay.
Certainly, certainly.
I'll just let y'all introduce yourself. Kind of.
I'm Donica Wiley and I'm the community involvement coordinator for the site.
Hello, everyone. My name is Connor Kiesling. I'll be the new regional project manager starting in 2024.
I missed your name.
Connor Kiesling.
Connor,
Oh, should I get your photo?
Oh, absolutely.
You too. You too.
Oh, me too. Okay.
This family.
And then we've actually, now that we're in the construction phase, we've gotten the Corps of Engineers involved. So
Well, Gary Johnson and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Gary, last name?
Gary Johnson.
Gary Johnson. Well, that's a pretty straight, okay. I just can't hear you very good. Okay, so you're with the Corps? I'm sorry.
Yes.
U.S. Army Corps of
Okay,
Engineers.
then we can,
I'm Sherry Monroe, and I am basically in charge of the site for Kentucky's Department of Environmental Protection.
Sherry, what's your last name again?
She wrote it down.
That's good. She wrote it down. We're gonna get it.
I sent a note, pat around.
Okay.
See.
I got it, Sherry. Okay. So Connor, your role is,
Remedial project manager.
okay, project management. Gotcha.
so he's been working on the project with me really since the first of the year. So folks on our management, fortunately, they were real helpful in getting somebody involved so that he can start coming up to speed. So it should be a real smooth transition.
Okay.
He's got my number. He can call me for a little while. And I do want to, I was just kind of emphasize too, Sherry, she didn't say a whole lot there, but she's key, and the Department of Environmental Protection is key to working this project with us. And we're really a partnership. So just wanted to emphasize that. So we've had a lot of support from her and from her management back there. So got two more. We brought in some other folks to kind of help us with this, some of the construction management, because like I said, we've had some hiccups and we learned there's a lot. It's a lot different from just kind of the investigation to moving into a big construction project. So we brought some folks in to help specialize and help us with that.
Hello, I'm Andrew Gatfield with Dab Energy. As Brad said, we're a third-party consulting agency for the EPA, and we're helping them with techniques and procedures, the project management of such a large one, and how to refine the process and make it smoother.
And I'm Katie Linsky, and I'm also with Dab Energy.
DAB Energy.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And then part of our bigger team, you probably know those two folks. Wendell and Tony, they're from Westlake. So they're part of our larger team. There's quite a few others that participate, but I think I forgot anybody. But so just like, so I want to kind of give you an overview, and would like to do this kind of annually, if that's okay with you all. And just kind of keep this fact sheet updated, and that way you can kind of track the progress and things like that. And then we're starting a review. We have to do about every 5 years, just on the remedy and want to get feedback from the community. And so I'm gonna let Connor kind of go over that. He's gonna be here Wednesday doing some interviews. And I guess if they want to contact you to be interviewed as part of, their perspective, they can you as well. Okay.
So yeah, we're doing, they're called 5-year reviews. So every 5 years, if there's contamination left in place, EPA conducts a review to reassess the protectiveness of the remedy. While there's, as Brad mentioned, there's 8 components of the remedy. One is complete, the others are still, the other one is in instruction, and then there's 6 others that are still in design. But we're looking to continue that process and make sure everyone in the community is informed about it. And so if anyone wants to know more about it, we'll have that fact sheet available with our contact information. And we'll also be conducting interviews with community members that are interested and want to know more about it. So feel free to reach out. I have business cards and contact information on the fact sheet.
Okay. Well, Brad had indicated the 2.5 mile wall, something like 2004, 2005. It must be a milestone set. That's kind of the expectations on that phase. Is there an overall milestone for these other phases you're talking about as far as time frame goes and length of the project? I mean, I don't want to put anybody on the spot. I just wondered what there might be already developed as far as setting the stage for some expectation.
Absolutely, yes. So in the fact sheet, we have a table that goes into the current milestones and the projected dates of construction completions for the various parts. So the barrier wall, we've divided it into 4 sections, east, west, south, and north. That'll be the stages that it will go in. And so on my table in the fact sheet, it goes into more detail about that.
Okay.
To the other components as well.
All right, very good. So we look forward to reading the fact sheet.
All right, thank you for your time.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you to your space, right? Oh, Jim.
No,
You just, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a congratulations on your retirement.
Oh, yeah, but nobody thought about that one. So. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for your presentation. Okay, so
Thank you.
with that said, we're going to kind of resume back to the normal agenda. We took the EPA thing first. We haven't even approved the meeting minutes from last time.
Sorry that I'm late.
We certainly appreciate everybody coming up and helping keep us involved here.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, that said, we've called it to order. We didn't get an approval for last meeting minutes. So I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Got a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Anybody else opposed? Nope. Okay. So we've got through visitors and petitioners for the EPA. Do we have other visitors tonight that'd like to get on the agenda? Come on forward here. Yes. Yeah, so we waited to get on YouTube, so we gotta get you in front of a microphone so people can hear you.
This ain't new business. I think it's old business. Y'all ain't happy.
Oh, we didn't, can you please name it?
Billy Carter.
Billy Carter. Okay, Billy.
And 97 Dogwood Street.
Okay.
I don't think it's new business, Mr. Coburn, but I think it's business you and this council ain't handling. I got a grandson who gets off school bus at 9th Street and walks to the end of 10th and Dogwood. And last Friday, the second time, a pit bull had stopped him and not let him. And I've had to go get him once when his daddy was at the house Friday, and he went and got him and brought him in and wanted and was upset. I said, just calm down, son. I come over to City Hall, but it was Veterans Day, everything's full.
Okay, on Friday.
Yeah, so I start back down the road and I see a city cop down here by the old post office. Me and my wife pulled in, talked to him, told him about it, and he said, Billy, I can't do nothing about it. We ain't got a dog leash or ordinance in this town. I can't do nothing about it. I said, well, what's gonna happen if my grandson comes in my front door and he's been ripped with a pit bull, what am I supposed to do? And he said, well, call us. I said, well, I can, but that's too late.
Right.
And, you know, this is the second time it's happened. And my neighbor lives in Kevin's granddaddy's old house. It got two dogs that walk the same distance. But his wife goes picks them up, so they scare these dogs. And if I ain't mistaken, a couple of weeks ago, y'all picked the dog up, it bit somebody over there. And then it had in quarantine because it didn't have its rabies shot. And
Well, so the
Probably
county,
Animal control and health department, we don't have a facility for that, but that sounds like what
Yeah.
they do in that case.
yeah, that's what happened. And anyway, something's gotta be done.
right,
I don't want my grandson bit. And this time, I think for y'all and y'all as council members and elected officials, do something about this dog problem. This ain't the first time it's happened,
right.
but, you know, I would hate to. I don't know what I would do if my grandson walked in there, you know. And it's, something's gotta be done.
So this dog hangs out in the area between 9th and 10th on Dogwood and Cedar,
No.
just Dogwood mainly?
Yeah, Dogwood, it's on the corner of Dogwood.
Well, you know, the city hasn't got a specific leash law that's in ordinance. We've had them in the past. We've had 4 different leash laws and have retired. And one of the reasons is we don't have the facilities to deal with them. The county does take care of them and there are vicious animal rules and regulations. So we'll look into that. And it's not as simple as we don't have a leash law. That's not the simple answer on that. I guess it's the easy answer. It's not the right answer.
That ain't the right answer, but what is the answer if a kid comes in and been mauled by a dog? What y'all's answer gonna be to that?
Well, if we have a dog threatening people in
Yeah.
the area and is repetitive, I think there's a county ordinance against that. Okay, already. I think there's already, you can't have a vicious animal out and about and threatening people repetitively. And so there is county enforcement, which we can certainly get a hold of. On this
Like all those.
Do we know what the culprit looks like? Do we know
Yeah,
who
he's a white and there's two of them.
Okay.
A white and brown.
okay,
They got partial pit bull in them.
right.
And, you know, I live at the dead end of Dog.
Down at the end, go south of 10th. Okay.
Yeah, can't go no further. I
Gotcha.
live at the dead end.
Know exactly what.
He does. His daddy was raised right across the road and I ain't a dog hater. My dad had coon dogs. His granddad. had
Understand,
bird
but you
dogs.
can't have meeting people up either. So before
They
you,
was in the pen and people took care of them. They had.
Right.
I guarantee you none of these.
so what
dogs-
we need is a bad owner law. Seriously, we need a bad owner law, right? And I want you to give the chief all this information before you leave. We're going to do what we can do. And
Well, the
there's county.
Police officer come over and talk to, I think he dealt with it before.
Are they taken care of?
Bird, Miss Bird, but the other woman across the street's got the 2 dogs in the trailer. I just don't know, Mayor, what I'd do if my grandson come in.
I appreciate you coming in tonight and it's information we need to hear, seriously. And I want to make sure Chief's got the detailed information on this and then we'll see what we can do with the current laws in place. I mean, you can't have a threatening dog out in the whole county. I mean, but we'll look into specifics and make sure he has the information on addresses and stuff.
All right.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
So back in September, he's talking about the same dog we dealt with back in September.
Mhm.
The owner was cited to court for harboring a vicious animal, and it's in the court system right now. The dog was at this quarantine, like he said, but the dog has been released back to the owner since then. So we are doing what we can do.
Okay.
He knows about it. Something needs to be done.
Mr. Carter, I really appreciate you coming up and you're right. After somebody's been eaten up, that's too late to worry about that. And here you got a case for an owner whose property is out doing those kinds of things, already been through the process and still have it out there. I understand. I'll try to do what I can as far as make some phone calls and see what we can add to that. But that's certainly not a situation we want in town. And we got to know about that. The council has to know about that. And this is, it sounds like you've worked through the system pretty good and coming up and talk to us is the proper thing to do to try to get some better activity.
All right.
All right.
Chief, is this a cause for this to be a new offense? Could it get picked back up? You know, I know it's still working through the system, but is this something where we could quarantine the dog again? I don't know how the system, but
Friday, I'll send it here.
Sure.
I'll look into it and say that if we need to contact the county attorney again, see about an additional charge. This could possibly still be pending from the first charge, and we can maybe work with the court system like that. But we'll listen with that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bonnie, Billy.
You will.
it's weird to talk about a dog that's been charged. It's a new offense. Yeah.
And his grandson.
We got
Oh, sure. No, you're,
I think you're up.
First reading, 11-691 Hickory Street.
Okay.
And I just wanna see if there's anything we can do about getting the speed of Hickory and 7th Street. Talk to the police chief. For a couple days, they came by and had presents and everything. I know one of my neighbors talked about it. There's plenty of I got 3 grandchildren living there now. And there's several other small children in this. Now, I don't have to take it into my own hands.
I don't want you to either.
And
So you're talking about down at the 4-way stop, running stop sign or speeding
speeding down Hickory Street
from like Food Giant down the hill?
down, yes.
Okay.
And same thing on 7th. And we've been walking a couple times, almost got hit, And, I mean, I holler at people, slow
Right.
down. I had one young man act like he was shooting at me. I'm a sealed carrier. You don't want to escalate.
No, we don't. That's an escalation for sure.
And, and hats off, I want to say thanks to Brad Darnell and his crew
Mhm.
for fixing the drainage down Hickory Street.
Well, we had the big dig going on, Calvert City's version of the big dig, and
And they really took care of that and everything, but I just, I know my neighbor, Ron Peck, has come up and talked. And I don't know, I mean,
We talked
Speed
about
bumps,
speed
something.
bumps one time, but I don't know why we. Speed bumps,
Yeah, we've never applied any of those.
I know, but I mean, could we do that? Cause it's. There, at least before you get to the stop sign on 7th and on.
sometimes people lock them up, I mean, they're bricks.
I mean, there's signs there. It's
And they run through
stop
that.
ahead and something.
Well, stop signs, I don't know.
No, you got some extras.
Well, Brad knows more about
Signs
the
there on
UTCA.
7th. On 7th there is.
You can put out 1,000 signs and they're not gonna pay any attention to it. I know we discussed putting out flashing signs before, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. They know, they drive through the neighborhood every day, they know where they're at.
It's them people, it's a lot of same folks, I mean,
They don't care.
no, they don't.
I drive
I mean,
through
it's
there about 10,
25 mile.
I've been there about
speed
10
limit.
times a day, so. But I do care, so.
Yeah.
I agree though, I know, but.
I mean, I can dig that ditch back out in front of your house and we can blow that.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm telling you, they fly across it. You hear them, pop, pop, it's like.
About there, it's like on the speed bumps.
Did that help with the drainage and then went in and put the dips in it instead of the bumps? We could make it work both ways. I know it's just kidding around, but I understand your issue.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And listen to.
but we'll talk to the chief and to Brad and see what we can come up with there. I mean, I've never been a big fan of speed bumps in neighborhoods,
Oh, I'm not.
and I've been in neighborhoods that have them. But then again, I'm not a big fan of people getting run over either. So we'll talk about it and discuss it. So you see what the best option seems to be.
I appreciate it.
Did the big dig slow anybody down at all?
I don't know, when I brought it up to the crew, they all started laughing. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. All right.
They figured out some of the folks too.
Well, there's some other options too, if we decided to do something, with some other options that we could put in beside speed bumps that we might consider if that's what we deem, if we deem that to be what we want to work on.
We can't
So-
do camera, can you?
Well, no, this would be actually just kind of a reconfiguration of the road, but not make it one way or something, but it would also create an issue where it had snake instead of having straight line. So there's other options that they consider as well. So,
I don't know if it's in the hill, for some reason,
yeah,
they'll top those hills, and then the next thing you know.
I know that we've had attention at the four-way stop people. They're, you coasting through are better than coasting through, and that's been an issue before. And I think we got some attention on that and saw some improvement. It sounds like we might have a new group of people who need to be educated. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We have any other folks that want to talk to us? Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay. Old business. And under old business in the agenda, we've got youth voice writing contest winner for November. And it's got an article from the Lake News. We got Katie Harrison, 9-year-old from Clarksville, Tennessee. Our contest goes far and wide, I guess. She enjoys horseback riding, reading, writing, and singing. And her favorite classes, reading, art, and PE. Attends Trigg County Schools. So I have not read this work, but it's called Another Life. And so thank you, Katie, and congratulations on winning that one. An update on the generator grant. We want to get our grant applications back in January and get to work.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've not made as much progress on that as I want, but we're shooting for January. It's been a month of drills and thrills, I guess.
How many applications do you have?
No, we haven't got it published. We're looking at getting grant applications in January.
We're gonna publish it in-
Yes, absolutely. So we've had discussions about what we want their application to look like to help us get through them and make sense of it. Is there any old business I'm forgetting, Linda? Okay,
I'm thinking.
semi old business. Chief, you got some folks you want to introduce?
All right, so, the police department had brought on 2 new officers. This is, William, Keith's suits. He goes by Keith.
Keith.
And the other one is Evan Pimpins, and, he cannot be with us this evening, but try and get here for the next
Okay,
council meeting. So, Keith has about 10 years' experience. He started out in Princeton in 2013, is that correct? All right, and then from Princeton went to Marion PD, then from Marion PD went to Caldwell County. Worked for Caldwell County for about 4 years, and I think he did some correction time as well.
I went to Line County for 2 years, actually left Caldwell to the line and I learned to share Caldwell Flight Station. That didn't work out the way I wanted to, so I went to the prison farm there in Fredonia and worked there for a little over a year before I come to the Calvert, actually out law enforcement there for a little while. I couldn't handle it no more.
okay.
But we're happy to have him. He's been on the road since October 23rd was his first day on the streets, and he's been on the day shift for a few days. He's worked a few afternoons, and he's going to be assigned to the night shift. He's been doing some nights.
I also enjoy the trick or treat.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good.
My little one come up here.
That's right.
Or the city. Introduce themselves. There.
It's probably not an opening experience.
That is a good introduction to Calvert City.
Yes, sir. You did good on this costume.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so that's where we are right now, this is our new hire. You guys may or may not see him too often with him being assigned to night shift, but he's gonna be out there for us.
Okay. Well, Keith, I appreciate it. I'm happy to have you jump back into law enforcement with us. And I think it's the chief's done a good job and we've got a great hire. You want to tell us about Mr.
Pimmons?
Yep.
All right, so,
He's not here. We're
no,
gonna bring him back, but
no, hopefully he'll be here at the next council meeting.
Evan, right?
Yeah, Evan Timmons, he did 18 years with Murray PD. He's gonna be, he's been assigned to patrol K-9. He was a detective for a little while, and then he was promoted to sergeant. So the last, I think, 6 years, he was a sergeant for Murray PD. And so he's came over to us, and he's bringing, both these guys bringing a wealth of knowledge, you know. So between the both of them, it's about 28 years experience, and we're just happy that we're able to have them with us right now.
well, I think that the council supports our first responders and especially our police department, and want to welcome you on board.
Appreciate it.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Well, we're down into the business section here. We've got a ordinance on the powers and duties of parks, playgrounds, and recreation. You want to explain this one to us?
Sure. This is housekeeping. Back in 06, we amended this ordinance, making parks, recognizing that it actually is the mayor's office and the office staff that actually run the parks. And it's been the role of the Parks Board for the past almost 20 years, to be advisory role. But the ordinance, while the preamble to the ordinance clarified that the body of the ordinance had some glitches in it. And so this is just to clarify. So with your permission, I'll read this thing. We'll call it the first reading.
So 2006-10
Right.
was the last update.
Right. That was when sort of the role of parks went from what originally was considered was that park would manage the parks, but then the reality, the world quickly realized that it's actually City Hall and the streets department and the parks department, and the folks that work for the city that actually do the work and manage the parks, but with advice and recommendations from the Parks Board.
Okay.
So, whereas the city council has recognized that the Parks, Playgrounds and Recreational Board has acted in an advisory capacity with regard to the city's parks, playgrounds and recreational facilities, in keeping with the stated intent of ordinance number 2006-10, rather than assuming direct management and control of same. And whereas the city council has determined to revise the language of section 34.053 of the Calvert City Code of Ordinances in order to clarify the intended role of the Parks, Playgrounds and Recreational Board in the management of the city's park system, now therefore be it ordained by the city of Calvert City, Commonwealth of Kentucky, that section 34.053 of the Calvert City Code of Ordinances hereby is amended as follows. And it now reads, the Parks, Playgrounds and Recreational Board, or it is proposed, the Parks, Playgrounds and Recreational Board hereby is charged with the authority and duty to investigate, analyze, and advise the city with regard to the management, control, operation, and utilization of the city's parks, playgrounds, and recreational facilities. The board also is directed and authorized to make recommendations to the city council with regard to expenditures for maintenance and improvements to the city's park, playgrounds, and recreational facilities. That's the entirety of it.
Make a motion to accept. It's presented.
Okay, got a motion
I'll say it.
and a second. And we're gonna do a roll call.
Councilman Babcock is absent. Councilman Howard,
Yes.
Councilman Hale. Yes. Councilman Rao,
Yes.
Councilman Harrington,
Yes.
Councilman Stokes.
Yes.
That's the first reading.
All right, thank you for that. Resolution of the city of Calvert City accepting a Kentucky Infrastructure Authority supplemental assistant agreement grant authorizing the representative sign for all related documents.
Right.
I read that, just like everybody in here could read off the agenda, so please explain what this is. This is a good thing.
Okay, and Glenda, jump in and clarify if I get into the details wrong, okay? Water and Sewer has been participating in the KIA assistance. grant.
Yes.
Actually for this year. And we finished one project with a part of the grant and had some funds left over. And so with the help of Chad,
Chad McCann of Rivercrest.
Rivercrest.
with the help of Chad, sort of requested that those excess funds that didn't get used on the first project be transferred over into another CWP project, which is a same line item in our budget as what we currently got. To allow us to expand, I think it's almost $390,000. So moving $390,000 that didn't get used on the first project over to another project in the same category. And so doing that, because these are federal funds, there's just a lot of bureaucracy involved. One of the things that we have to do is adopt a resolution. Well, we have learned the hard way that if you ever change a bureaucratic resolution that comes through EPA by way from the feds, you're just asking for trouble. But when I read the resolution, it had indicated that you guys were agreeing to amend your budget and your audit process to accommodate this change in the grant. Well, in this particular case, we don't need to amend the budget because we're not changing line items with it. And we're just, the money's already in the budget. We're just going to spend it on another sub line item within the same line item. So I called the people at KIA today and long story short is, if you look at the resolution that's before you, we just lined out. And if you will, Mayor, when you sign this, initial those two line outs to show that you were aware that they were lined out. But it's just deleting the budget amendment portion of that resolution. Otherwise, it's a fairly straightforward. We're gonna basically re-sign the documents. It's the same documents that we had first time, really, except just moving the numbers from one project to another project. So was that too confusing to understand, or
What is CW something?
Clearwater plan or Clearwater program, something starts with a P.
I think it's cleaner water.
Cleaner water program.
Cleaner water.
Cleaner water program. So we're gonna move it from what project to what project, Tim?
It's
VFDs.
moving from the Gilbertsville Bridge Water Main Relocation Project to VFDs and controls.
This is just
Oh, sorry. It's going to be moving from the Gilbertsville Bridge Water Main Relocation Project. You know, we got the money for that one and we got one for VFDs and controls. Well, we didn't use all of the one for the Gilbertsville Bridge project. And they're going to let us move the remainder to the VFDs and controls because there was other work that Tim and controls at the water plant.
variable frequency drives. Variable frequency drives. VFD.
Now you start, got on the Tim Haskell doctor.
I know.
See, we can do it too, Tim.
Why don't you say something, Tim?
I will.
So, you know, we operate the water system and it's not a business where you're going to get rich beyond your wildest imaginations, and the state understands it. So they make grant funds available. And this is one that it's all going to infrastructure, but you got to declare what you're doing with it, crossing the T's and dotting I's. So with that said,
Motion to approve.
we got to read it or anything or not?
No.
No. Okay. So I'd entertain a motion to approve us to get the paperwork together. I cannot imagine it. Well, does anybody have any questions? No questions? Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Thank you.
Does this authorize you to sign?
Yes, yes. It's just got a lot of paperwork here, and you know, these grants go to all manner of municipal systems and small water districts, and I just want to make sure they know where the money went. And it's I appreciate the fact that we'll make sure they know where the money went. Disposition. Well, why don't you explain this disposition to us?
Let me do it. Go ahead.
Mike can probably clarify, Mike, if I miss it.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, just tell them what we're doing. Or what you want to do.
Okay, so, the airport courtesy car used to be or future airport courtesy car, used to be one of our former, patrol cars. And so, in the past, whenever we get a cruiser, we usually outfit it with, new, parts for, patrol. In this case right here, we have some extra parts laying around and, that are not gonna be able to be used. One of these parts is a, partition. It separates the opposite front seat to the occupants in the back seat. And, it is, it's retrofitted just for the Dodge Charger. And here in the future, next year, we're not gonna be able to get any more Dodge Chargers. So we just have this extra petition sitting around. Well, we would like, the police department would like to donate that, for petition to the sheriff's office. They have a older used Dodge Charger that they are trying to outfit one of their deputies. And so that's where we're going. Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna take taxpayer property from Calvert City and help the sheriff's office out with a little something that we don't need anymore. The alternative could be you put it on govdeals.com and see what you got. Or go ahead and help out in the county. That's what the idea is, right?
I'll make a motion, we give it to the county.
Yeah.
Got a motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. We'd rather keep our barrier home than as opposed to sending it anywhere else. So this just been in that one car?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for the heads up and helping out a fellow agency, chief.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Good? Good. Okay. Well. We can get down into some reports. We do have, one of the outfalls of the last meeting was, pickling, in pickleball courts, which we can go over in detail as part of the project update. Blair is not here in person, but she's certainly here in spirit and saved us with the password, so we could actually have this meeting tonight. And before she left us a two-page, almost a press release. And I don't know how much of this I can actually read. We've got copies of it up here, so needless to say, she's been very busy. There's events coming up, Cranksgiving. They're running the Moneymaker Trail during the week of Thanksgiving to crank out the challenge for that. Santa Fly-In on Friday night, December the 1st. This is the second. Is that right? Second annual? The first annual was fabulous. Everybody had nothing but great things to report. And is this a ticketed event?
Yep, 6 hours.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Sold out.
3 hours, I think she said.
6.
3 hours, I think.
And then on December the 2nd, Christmas Bazaar, parade, and tree lighting, all the festivities starting at 7:30 in the morning with a Jingle Dash 5K. And then we have 150 vendors. So at 9 to 4, Chief, the city's gonna be absolutely full of Christmas people. And I think it was a pretty impressive show last time. I expect it to be this time too. Then the Christmas parade at 6, tree lighting at 7. And the ornament painting is a ticket event, and they go on sale on November the 27th. And I think that's going to be on December the 2nd, 2 sessions, 4 to 5:30 and 6 to 7:30. Is that right? Okay.
Yep.
I'm not sure about the date on the holiday ornament. Is that the December 2nd? But anyway. Other things, we got the emergency information form for businesses in Calvert City. And I haven't been holding the pulse of that as far as what kind of return we've been getting, but that's very important. Very important for our first responders, know who the key holders are, who to call, how to get a hold of them. Let out campaign. If you complete your survey by the first of the year, it's $5 credit. So now we're paying for that. Leaf vacuuming has begun. Yeah. $5 credit.
All right.
Well, you may get the $5 credit.
I need it.
Probably do.
One time.
I don't know. One time. You can't fill out multiples. Leaf vacuuming. The 13th. We're doing that? Nope. Yep. What was that? I saw is if you rake it, we'll take it. Was that the You rake it, we'll take it. I don't know who came up with that, but that's what's
Who-
been publicized.
Who do you think?
Huh?
Who do you think?
I would say Blair, but I don't know if maybe somebody, I don't know if, but Blair has a direct line to Public Works, so you don't know where it originated from. Is anybody else taking credit for it?
I'm guessing Blair.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. And then Katie Harrison from Katie's, we've already talked about Katie. So there is for Blair and wow. There you go. And we can probably get a copy of that. You already got a copy? Okay. And we probably need to get one to whoever needs one.
Have mine.
Okay. Trying to think what we got through. You want to go through the project updates first, I suppose?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Let's do that.
Our paving, they started mobilizing today. They started bringing the equipment in. They started parking back here, so I expect them to start
In the morning.
in the morning, okay? Fire truck bid, which is the pickup, those bids are due in this week, Thursday. The fencing that was around the parking lot here and the Moneymaker Trail entrance. That is complete. It came in, about 2/3 of what we originally budgeted for it, so we came out, under budget on that one.
Nice looking fence.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Public Works generator, it's a 50 kilowatt unit, total installation, we came in 31,000 under budget on that, only had 44,000 to install a 50 kilowatt generator. So that worked out real well. Almost have enough, but they've upped the Civic Center to a 50 kilowatt. Actually, the actual final came back as a 50 kilowatt generator for the Civic Center. So that means we'd have to amend the budget. Another 13,000
grants.
grants.
Got any grants up your sleeve? In your pocket?
Not
Applications
not
to be
in-
made?
Not within the next year and a half.
Okay.
Possibly, but it would be down the road a ways before we could get it, but we can look into that. Not right now. They haven't closed the
What was the price on that? The 50 kilowatt?
50 kilowatt. It costs us 44,000 for complete installation. That's concrete wiring, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so the Civic
And the
Center,
transfer switch.
Civic Center needs a what?
Needs the same size, and
Okay.
we've got 31,000 now. We need to up it about 13 or so to actually be able to put that. That would be the last facility building. I think that we want to put a generator on. That would have public work, water complex here, and then the Civic Center. That would have a generator. I'm sorry, and a fire training
Firehouse.
fire station.
Raleigh Fire.
Raleigh
Fire station has one. We don't have one at the training center. So that leaves the Civic Center and the fire training center without generators right now.
And which ones?
The fire training center doesn't have a
Yeah,
generator.
they don't have one, and just the Civic Center.
But I feel like if we had that level of emergency, we'd probably scrounge around one from, Tim sitting there looking at me, he's like, you're out of your mind. I need all mine, but maybe. Okay.
And
Well, we want the water on, so you can, you need to keep them clean.
the last update I have, you have a copy of. We were tasked to get information on the new pickleball courts, the cost to have them. There you go.
It's a lot of money.
Total is $470,647.20. That's
Now,
for 6 courts.
The Parks Board saw that number. They saw a lower number than that, right?
454 was the original when we got in, because I was trying to get it for you guys or for them.
Did they have a figure the night they were here?
No,
No.
they did not. And that's the thing. The figure, I didn't get it until Parks Board meeting last week. And they didn't have a complete, they just estimated the electrical. And they didn't have a complete, so they had it at 454 last week. And then we got, right after that, you got the electrical numbers.
Well, who's they? Bob had it?
No, HDR.
HDR had it.
Yeah.
So
our
the
engineer-
number presented to the Parks Board was lower than this one, but this one's been updated. So it's
It was,
Marginally lower.
were
Yeah,
the,
marginally.
maybe that was not the time to ask questions. I'm sorry. Is
Oh.
it But I was wondering, did they have any idea, the pickleball people, that it was going to be this much?
No, they
Okay.
didn't.
So what-
I don't believe they did.
I didn't think they did either. That
I
was.
don't believe they did. No.
They hoped it would be 250.
Yes, I believe that was the case.
Yeah,
I
they
don't think
weren't.
any of us knew for sure, but.
So John, what is the scope here? Remind us what the scope that you had
Okay,
copied out.
the scope here, and this is a complete unit. This actually has the 6 courts. There's 4 lights, with double heads, that allows. Two of the heads or one of the heads on each light will be on the immediate. Court below, the other light on either side would shine together to give light for the middle court. That way you don't have any poles in the middle of the court. It has also a 8-foot walking trail around it, just like the other one does, or walkway around it. Fencing is more, there's additional fencing, additional gates.
Well, now that fencing was based on what they brought to the council last.
Oh,
The
yes,
fence?
what
Okay.
it was submitted to us is what we went with, other than adding the walkway around the outside and the lights.
Those other fences are the little dividers between.
That's correct. Divider, whether it's divider going across and divider going in between them. So, yeah. But yeah, we submitted exactly what they submitted and then added the lights, request for the lights and the actual other paving around the outside. So you'd have the walkway around it, just like we do here. It's paved. Because it would have to be done anyway. So and the other part of that is the drainage that has to be done there. Because right now, the drainage is set where it comes downhill and goes through that. And we'd have to rework the drainage to take it around that course.
So HDRs had the site grading plan included to take care of that. Okay. And so this was, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. I mean, that's pretty much it right there. I mean, and yes, and it would, that is a turnkey. That's the estimate for a turnkey. Now we wouldn't know for sure until we got our bids in. But you're talking about almost $500,000.
So now this estimate included, it's estimated as it was totally contracted out. So the estimation method that HDR is using includes labor, contractor labor and machine hours and all that stuff.
Okay, I'm about the bullet, and I don't have anything against pickleball whatsoever, and I don't want anybody to be offended by it, but I did have a couple of constituents come to me since the last meeting and question the questions that they brought forward were, is this a fad? Do we really need, and I know it's been going on for a long time. I'm not trying to diss pickleball at all. And did they really need 6 court? And I think, with this amount of money, I hate to spend that kind of money when we may be looking at a water bill increase.
Let me.
They're not the same thing, but it's.
Sure. Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt. At the meeting, Parks Board meeting this last week, I presented this to them and they, any of them were just kind of taken aback as you would think.
Yeah.
And they realized that the money was not there. And they were saying we need to consider taking this into another budget or different consideration and just go ahead and move on with the bathrooms.
Well, and could maybe 2, whatever their recommendation is, but maybe they go with 2 courts and then later on we could build 2 more. I mean.
All the grade work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that would be, I mean, maybe, the thing is maybe you want to only look at doing it, and I don't know, you can't really do that though. You can't split it up into 2 years, can you? Once you start that project, 1 year, will they back it up? I'm sorry, I'm looking at Ralph and Glenda on that one. Can you put it in 2 years? Can you split it that way?
I think you might be able to do that.
That would be the
I'm
only
not
thing I might
suggesting.
say you might consider is trying to do it in 2 years. If you can do it that way.
And it's not gonna be completed till, even if you started tomorrow, it wouldn't be completed till the next budget cycle anyway.
Or at least the money wouldn't be paid out. You're right. So that's.
I mean,
What is that total figure again?
$470,647.20.
Well,
And 20 cents, not a dime more.
Don't forget that, 20 cents.
if the Parks Board who wanted this and brought this to us or people within the group saw this like we are and said, gosh, let's just stick to our original plan, then who are we? I mean,
That's what they were asking, because I think that they would consider if you guys are thinking about it, or if they want to consider more, it would be something to bring into the next budget or 2 and try to set something up like that. But at this point, they were fine with just moving ahead with the bathrooms.
I had a couple of people. Like Nita and
like, is that a fad? They also added, they really like to have more bathrooms too.
And, you know, same as everybody, I'm not against
No.
that, but the bathroom is something that everyone gets to use. Versus whoever just plays
If I
that.
was coordinated, I might even play pickleball, but I'm
Yeah.
not.
So we usually take the recommendation as our boards.
Well, it's one of you all to see that. I mean,
Yeah, I
that-
appreciate it.
And I was able to get the information, so. But we will consider that, and I'll have him, we'll look into it more, let them look into it some more during our budget discussions and after the first of the year.
So some of the dirt work up there was facilitating the idea of a location. But, and then we'll put Brad on the spot. I didn't even warn him.
I mean.
There's a fair amount of stuff left to do, even though you can see in your mind's eye where that thing would be laid out. There's quite a bit of dirt work left up there, right?
Yeah, because the water drain that comes around the back of the porch now will hit about the middle of the new porch. So we have to route that around and not make a ditch that you've got to jump over, because we can't go the other way because there's a porch main buried over next to the wood.
Yeah.
So we have to underground that around the porch. So, yeah.
Okay.
And possibly have to raise the courts up somewhat, and what I believe he
So-
said to help with that.
From the nature of some of your questioning was, it's like we like to figure out how to iteratively get there from here. And, you can't put in half if you're going to do 6 courts, you got to do the civil work for 6 courts. If you're going to put in 6 courts, you got to do the electrical work for 6 courts. And if you put in 3, I don't know how much really cost savings you're getting once you remobilize and stuff. So,
Yeah.
And again, these estimates are based on a contractor. And so, we'd have to go through and maybe HDR, get them to pull some of the information on just how many, and they've got it on the sheet, some of the things on how many yards and how you try to eat that about at the time, but that's going to be a more protracted scheme and try to figure out how to sideways slide into that hole. Because we have resources, but we got resources doing other stuff. But that's not likely to happen this year.
No.
Okay, so the recommendation is we do the bathroom thing and keep trying to work on this one. Is that what?
Okay.
That's what the Parks Board is like. And if they want to try to break it up over 2 budgets and do this, I'm okay with that too. If they want the bathroom. And for the bathroom.
Now, those 2 things didn't interfere with each other physically, did they?
No.
No, the bathroom is gonna be up in that area, but it's gonna be. The location of the bathroom was set in that triangular grass area, at the end of that parking lot on the top. At the very end, over where the recycling bins were, that's where we were looking at putting it, right there, because that's kind of a spot we can't use for anything else. And so we felt we'd put it there where it's in close proximity, both the skate park and the pickleballs as well. And it also puts one about the same place, longitudinal or latitude, whatever you want to call it, across there with the others. So it kind of splits it up from the civic center. And
So I think that if you look at hosting tournaments, that the bathroom is a needed amenity, still Mayor Jones's word, that was his favorite word, right? Amenity. And so it's progressing toward that, even having, expanded facilities up in the area. And I understand and I get it. It's like, you say, hey, if it's a 1-for-1, let's just keep doing the blue house thing and get this going. And I can understand that. And I heard that message loud and clear, but it's not a 1-for-1. So we're gonna, all right.
I'm going to interrupt just 1 second again. The holiday ornament painting
Yes.
is December the 12th.
All right.
I wasn't.
All right. I
playing
felt
on
bad
my
about
phone.
that.
I was looking up the day.
All right.
It's December the 12th.
It didn't seem right when I was saying they're not going to be painting ornaments
Yeah.
when the Christmas parade's happening.
I think
There's
that's
something wrong.
And I think that's a
Okay.
Tuesday, I believe.
Okay. Tuesday, December 12th.
Yeah.
All right. It's probably in there in the fine print that I just can't read when I'm sitting up here doing this. John done with us? Down the bathroom.
It's just the ADA doors. We can take care of that. They're not ready yet. I mean, that was all.
That's it. 88 door is not ready yet.
Getting pricing.
So is we would love to brag that the drainage on Hickory is doing good, but it really hadn't rained a whole lot since it was complete.
Come a couple good little showers.
It looks good?
Actually did work, yeah.
Okay.
Good. Now, these crazy floods we have, I'm sure it's probably run over the road anyway.
Oh, yeah. And there's some homes down there that were islands and you got water out going where residents don't like. So cleaning up the ditch and getting through is something we had to do. So good solution on that. Next big rain, I'll make sure I go on the walking trail and watch it come rip roaring out of the black pipe. Okay, so let's move on to water. Let's just cut John's time off. He's done. He is done. Unless somebody's got a question about, if somebody got a question about specific, we'll come back around, Professor, later. What's going on with the water, Dan? I wanted to put you on after we did all the resolution thing, but
The main event that we've had recently started, probably last Wednesday evening. We ended up with a main sewer blockage between Fern Creek and Pine Street.
Fern Court,
Fern
Circle
I'm
and
sorry,
Pine, okay.
That's what I got here, can't read it. Like me. Roots had penetrated the piping and clay piping that's there, and it totally blocked it all up. And the water sewer line was blocked up with tree roots and all was packed in there, and it was all not only getting we were out, but I water was going in, we didn't realize it. And so Tim and them replaced about 35 feet of mains with new piping and three laterals. Yes.
Maple trees, right?
These are kind of.
Okay, all right.
So we got that within the process of doing that. Roots were packed in their sled, we damaged the sewer truck, blew the hydraulic pumps up on it. So we're gonna have to take the sewer truck. Indianapolis. And get it repaired and get it back. I'm gonna take it up there tomorrow. Get that fixed up in the back.
This is the high pressure pump on the back of that particular truck. Okay.
Of course, this was not budgeted or planned for. We'll have to work out as we go forward. PB Cloud project is underway. Portion of it is already in, ready to be tested, and the PB Cloud sign is not yet with the lines in. We're working on that, so should be.
Good deal. Good deal.
That's it.
Thank you, sir. All right. Chief Davis,
Yes, sir.
you got some kudos and some appreciation for the ladder truck at the Veterans Day celebration at Marshall County, Mike Miller Park. That was a good thing. Appreciate you doing that.
No problem.
Anything else?
I've got copies. I read the final run numbers for November the 1st of 22 till October the 31st of this year. If you want me to read them, I will. I have copies for everyone. We ended up with 243 runs in that time period. Our medical is what we ran the most of, was 123. We had 51 fire runs, 20 46s, and traffic control, which that's where we go out and, help Mike with, they have a 45 or something where they need the traffic.
You got a copy of that summary for everybody? Okay, why don't you hand them out if you got them? Well, you can pass them. I'll come back and get them. There you go. The FD's got the PD working for him.
Thanks, sir.
Well, you've done a good job typing these up, Timmy.
It's a new font. He's got a new font package. It's a new font package. It's called the
I'm gonna be honest with you, I think the computer don't get along.
Yeah, I never would have thought that, Jamie.
So what's a 46?
45 is just an accident. And so, yeah,
So 51 fire runs.
The mutual aid is where we go help the surrounding, department.
Signal aid is, oops, forget about it. Signal 8 means go back where you came from. False alarm.
Okay.
Storms 2, alarms. 243 runs, only 51 of which are what people think of a fire department for. Fire calls. All right. So that's the year for the fire department. That's what we count. End of October. Okay.
We probably got a problem starting. We've been down to Farland, in that area for the past 2 days. We've had 2 brush fires down in separate areas. So I don't know if we've got somebody setting them or what, but it's kind of weird that they're in 2 different spots.
Able to get to them pretty good.
Yeah, but
Well, it's dry. I don't know. Any word from Judge Braggs about red flag for the county or anything?
I haven't heard him say, but it's dry.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you about it and we can call Judge Braggs and talk for a minute, see what he recommends.
we're still in the state burn ban, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
for the 15th.
yeah, so that's good. Burn only in the evenings. We are there.
It's just, I mean. We had what, 2 last week, Mike? Windier than heck, and they're still setting fires.
What, burning leaves?
I guess, yeah, it's up there for me.
Yeah, burning leaves.
And again, we got a catchy slogan now. You rake it, we'll take it. So there's no reason to be burning.
On fire, and we're not taking.
Well, we tried that before too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Sucked up some coals and it's
All right.
focus going down the road.
Okay.
With a barbecue truck.
Chief, you got an update for anything or?
Anyway, so we recently, I guess it's about a week ago, participated in a grill over at Monic and Second City. They had actually it's been a year in the making. We've had the discussions for an active shooter there. And so that grill happened last week. And it was a good learning experience. We know where our shortfalls are and we know where we excel. And it was definitely a really good experience for all the agencies that was involved, for EMS, Sheriff's Office, Calvert Police, CMAT, the fire departments, and just the plant workers in general. So, that was a really good experience. And then on top of that, it's a time of year people are stealing stuff. So we haven't had too much headway with your golf clubs yet, Chris. We're still looking at them.
My golf game's really been sucking.
I'd like to have his golf set club because there's a lot of good hits left in them.
That's
We're still looking, we're still trying to get leads and stuff on that. We later found out that a golf cart was actually stolen. Apparently, someone switched the locks out on one of the units. So the country club notified just people who had units where their locks were missing or whatever. And so it was like a month later, we found out a golf cart was actually stolen. So we're still in the process of trying to get the identifiers from that golf cart so we can get them entered in NCIC. Had some vehicles broke into at the country club apartments, and we actually got a little bit of headway with that investigation. There was an Illinois state trooper that made a traffic stop, and one of the stolen guns from our vehicles was found in it. So. So we're working with them, trying to pick it down. See if we can get some local charges here as well. And, sorry, my throat's. Good right now. So I guess right now we're just looking at to the future. We got Thanksgiving coming up and then the Christmas parade. That's all I have for right now. If you guys have any questions, I'm available. Thank you.
8th of December. Mouse.
Oh, okay. Your annual safety meeting. December safety meeting is December the 8th. At the Civic Center.
What time?
It'll be from 11 to 1. You know that? We call it the end. I'll take care of that.
Okay. Well, I think that brings us around to the last, but not the least. We should do it. Tim?
That's.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, did you get the contract inked with Santa? Did you? No, that wasn't his job. That's the board's job. The Santa fly-in contract.
Or as far as another guy.
Okay. All right. Wrong department. You're not Jolly.
No,
Okay.
I'm not jolly at all.
All right.
Especially when you have to go last, right?
Your budget. Wrong holiday. Oh, that'd be the seafood fest. Never mind.
Earlier this day, early afternoon, John and I, a couple of other Hanson staff members met with the KDA. And we have a path forward identified and working for the fence project, the airport project, and the box hangar project. During that meeting, the KDA, Kentucky Department of Aviation, acknowledged that yes, they will pay for the infrastructure of a box hangar. That includes the apron, the taxiway connector, and the pad for the building.
Okay.
So they will be getting the grant application from you and us to do the engineering work on that particular.
What's the dimensions on the,
Will be the plan at this time is to put the infrastructure in for 2 60 by 60 buildings.
2 60 by 60s?
That are nested. In other words, they
They're
have a
nested.
common center wall.
I was gonna make a Russian nesting joke, but okay.
The pads will be done for 2. But we will bid for 1 building. We'll do the specs and we'll bid for a single building. Knowing that the pad will be ready for the second building. If the first one gets leased out in good time. That project will be covered, the local portion of that project will be covered with BIL money, bipartisan infrastructure law money that is sitting, waiting to be spent. So hopefully we'll be moving forward with that. The second item I have is that it's that time of year. That time of year means that the FAA wants updated capital improvement project plans, 5-year plan that we carry for each airport carries.
Right.
We're in the process of updating that. That was discussed during our meeting. John is up to date on what we plan on doing. It's actually going to be very consistent with last year's in that we have the 3 projects that I just discussed. But we're going to add a project. The state just completed a pavement inventory of all 51 airports in the state, general aviation airports in the state. And although the M34, the Kentucky Danville State Park Airport, did not fail,
in their pavement test for the taxiway. They got a D. And it's deteriorating. That taxiway will be added, the reconstruction of that taxiway will be added to the capital improvement plan for design for next year. Actually do it in FY 24-25. Thus ends my report.
The D rating was not surprising to anyone, was it?
No,
Okay.
it's not.
I've had a lot of D's in my life.
There were
That's
many
never
Ds
surprised.
Never surprised me.
there were many Ds that I was happy to get.
Okay.
But in closing, I'd just like to say to everybody, happy Thanksgiving, be safe.
So when might the wildlife fence be put up? Is there a timeline with the?
No.
No, okay. Well, don't write a hot check. I'm not asking you to write a hot check. What is, no, I just had to ask.
Line was not part of the agenda,
Okay, no hot checks. I get it.
Good answer.
All right.
but what was part of the agenda is their willingness to pay for the project.
That's good.
That's the important part.
They have not backed away from that.
Good deal.
There's a couple of steps that have to be done, and whether or not, when they tell us to move those forward, hopefully we'll have more information next.
Does that sound familiar?
Mhm. And again, you know, it's general aviation. You just got to be organized and do your homework and update your 5-year plan annually. Right?
Yes,
Have a vision,
patience.
have a vision. And we've got a great airport board and great consultant and doing everything we can to move the football forward on
They
that.
are good consultants.
They are. I hear they are.
Work for them about 10 hours a month.
But
They're not better than that. Thank you.
Okay. There's a direct correlation on that, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Okay, now, open question to anyone. Have we got something off the agenda other than going around and seeing if somebody's got a concern from the council members? Anything else? Any visitors? Okay.
Yeah.
What?
I'm excited that we've got a new family moving to Calvert City.
Yeah?
Do you all know that girl's that's sitting out there on the front row?
We know her.
Cold. She's always cold. She's got a coat in her lap. She and her husband Zane and their 2 little girls have recently purchased a home in Calvert City, and they will be moving here as soon as they can figure out how to do that.
Very good. Very good.
And I'm
Congratulations
excited
on the
about that.
home search.
Yeah,
The way it, the way
Glad to have
it's,
you here.
perfect time to buy a house.
yeah. Yeah.
It could be worse.
Oh, I don't know.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
That's true.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, welcome to Calvert. And again, not just professionally, but personally. So I'm glad y'all chose Calvert to come. All right. Ralph, got anything?
So since pickleball courts are off for now, the bathrooms are still on. What's the progress or lack of on them?
All right, we put them on hold until we figured out if we were gonna go that route.
Until we figured that
But,
out.
yeah, but what I'll do now is I'll go out and we'll spec out probably a prefabricated setup. And then we would have to take care of the water line, the sewer and electrical and get it to that point. And from there, they come in and set it and hook it up, make the final connections. So we just have to get the services to that vicinity or that locale. And then they hook it up once they install it. What's that?
Yeah, you owe us.
Oh,
Who said that?
oh, there we go. So we gotta hold it until the bathroom gets built.
Yes.
Okay.
More ways than one.
That's all right.
All right. So we're gonna get back on that. Chris, you got something? Chris's screen clean slate. No, Kevin's good. No? Nita.
I just have one question. Brad's gonna kill me. How often do we spray for bagworms?
Bagworms. Oh, okay.
We don't.
Do we get it done? If it's our property, we don't?
We spray for mosquitoes, that's about the end of our.
Well, we spray herbicide and stuff like that. But no, to my knowledge, we've never sprayed for
We got,
pesticide.
Bagworm's been bad this year. Is something on the park or something on Calvert City property
Yeah,
We're at,
or right away?
sort of over here behind
Movie hut?
the movie hut.
That was a horrible looking tree. It is. But that's, I don't think that's on us.
No.
Is it not?
Okay.
No, I'd gotten an inquiry on it and already checked it.
Okay,
So it's close to the right of way, but it's it's not in the right of way, so we don't take it down. If it were in the right of way, we'd cut her down. But I don't know whose lot that's on actually. Is that on the movie hut lot or is that? I'm not sure either, but it does. It is an eyesore.
one quick thing, I went to a cybersecurity tabletop, or exercise over at Purpose Ed. And it was hosted by Kentucky Office of Homeland Security about a couple of weeks back. And, it was pretty eye-opening and working with, SmartPath, who is our IT. We're in pretty good shape overall. Now we're fixing to upgrade our firewall, but it's because of its age and time, not because we've got a flaw in the system. But, they're doing a pretty good job of that. I'm not gonna say anything's infallible because it's not. It's just like a burglar. If he wants to get in your house, it doesn't matter what kind of security you've got, they can defeat it eventually. If they figure out what you got, they can defeat it. But at this point, we're trying to stay ahead of the game. So that's something we're always working with. We talk quarterly, Willie and I do, about our system, where we're at and make sure we've got upgrades and the current technology to kind of help stay on that.
Age of the computers, what operating system they're running, the robustness of the firewall, it never ends. It just goes and goes.
It's a nonstop operation.
So Pad had a tabletop.
What Homeland Security they hosted it. The Homeland Security actually put it on, and it was a good one. Every time I walk away from there, I lose sleep for 2 nights. It just makes you very uncomfortable when you walk away from one of those cybersecurity. You want to get off
Now,
the grid as quickly
there's
as you
been some
can.
small governments have gotten into the held hostage to pay the ransom thing.
Yeah, one real close to us.
Yeah. That's always a possibility and try to stay a step ahead. Okay, it's that time of night where we'd entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
There we go.
Second, all in favor? Done.
It's always standing.
All right.
I'm leaving.
Thanksgiving, guys.
Kind of like not having a password. We can't start. If you weren't here, I don't know how it would ever end.